Hey guys, welcome back. We are in between Game 1 and Game 2 between Fellowship of the Nerds and Just Us Guys. It is Day 2, Week 1, the SKL regular season. Blake just saw what looked to be, if you were just looking at the end screen, a one-sided game, but very much was not. So what do you look to Just Us Guys to change in this game? Is it in picks and bans, or do you think it's something in the game, or do you think that was just too rapid of a snowball to really change anything?
A lot of comfort picks got on a lot of people, but taking away their comfort picks is going to take them off their own comfort picks. So I'm very curious how this next pick or ban will go. I think we'll see a lot of changes as far as picks go. Bans, I know you and me were talking. Chosgood's Bard was so clutch that game. Those Tempered Fates were huge. But then again, Baby Trug's Jinx has time and time shown this guy can carry on that champion. So I feel like they have to do something to change up the bot lane that they're going to face. Either take away one of those picks or ban one of them, because they came up huge in that game.
Right, and then once you do that, though, the problem being you leave up too many disgusting OP picks for Harablo. We've seen him play that Fiora pretty good. Didn't have like that impressive a stat line, but that was hugely because of Talon the 9th on that Garen, shutting him down, actually having that CS lead and a pretty good stat line for himself at the end of the game. So maybe they're just going to take away these comfort picks and then leave Talon to try and deal with whatever Harablo brings out. If it's Garen or Fiora or Darius, maybe. Harablo, pretty versatile guy, so it's going to be interesting, definitely. I think Just Us Guys really don't have to change that much. They had a really good early game, and they made some really good rotations, made really smart plays overall. It was, opting to not TP at certain times, opting to TP later on, opting to use cooldowns at a later time in the fight. Just really smart play.
Laning phase was definitely in their favor. Odin did get caught out there early in the jungle, but I don't think that was necessarily his fault, just really bad timing. He was making the right play, trying to go mid lane, making that early gank on the Lulu, who was bringing the ignite. Doesn't have the barrier. But before we even go on, that Lulu was nuts. That's the kind of Lulu mid I like to see. The aggressive, strong Lulu building that strong AP, and that's what we were talking about, them lacking the AP damage. But I do agree with you that Talon the 9th has held Harablo back. Like, he's kept him in check, not letting him get ahead, not letting him snowball, and that's very important. And I feel like if they can just find the right fight, like, they were making the right choices. They were winning in all their lanes. They gave up that first dragon because they knew they couldn't win the fight with Talon the 9th staying up top. They didn't try and fight it. They did steal the second dragon and found themselves a very favorable fight, having the numbers. I feel like if they just play like they did last game in the early game and maybe have a bit better of a mid-game transition. Not that I think that snowball was their fault. It was just very unfortunate. I think if they play the same game, we might see a different turnout with different champions. Maybe just not give them their comfort picks.
Absolutely. We're going to head into picks and bans now. We do have the swapping of sides. So Just Us Guys going to be on the red side, Fellowship of the Nerds onto the blue side.
Sorry, my friend.
It's already been switched on my screen. Sorry, guys. Harablo, Fellowship of the Nerds on the red side. Just Us Guys on the blue side. Elise banned out, and Renekton against Athena. But Athena's been playing the mid lane, right?
Renekton mid is disgusting. I don't know. I mean, of course, it's not meta, but man, you got to ban that guy. Maybe Talon plays it as well. Maybe Athena learned from Talon. Senpai.
Possibly. Senpai, notice me, please. Elise coming out, still a strong jungler. Bosgood does like the Lee Sin, too. It was open last game, opting for the Gragas. Maybe see if Gragas is taken away. Probably going to go back to Lee Sin. I'm going to call it right now, unless it's banned, that Bosgood's going to go to his comfort pick, Lee Sin.
The Gragas was a lot better pick for that last team comp.
Absolutely.
Lee Sin would have been good to snowball the lanes, but I very much liked it because if they were going to get that Fiora to split push, they needed Gragas for that disengage to get themselves out of the situation, because having just a Lulu and a Bard might not have been enough. The Victor ban, staying steady there towards Athena. I don't know if that's the greatest ban. Victor is a very strong champion, don't get me wrong. A Skarner ban coming out, still OP. I just don't think Victor is the right ban when you're going into game 2. You want to switch something up. Maybe they'll leave the Ahri open. They ban Ahri themselves, and that is one comfort pick nobody's having today. It's both mid laners not getting it.
Absolutely. So really nothing pretty much changing except for this Gragas from last game. And we see, oh my god, they're going to take away the Jinx. So this is very actually smart. First rotation, take away Baby Trug's favorite champion. One he's played to awesome results. Pretty much carrying that team, and like I said, Prophet, Carter, gonna call it this Lee Sin pick. I'm not too much of a Prophet. He pretty much played it like 5 games the last 2 weeks, so I cheated, but
It would be like saying you're a prophet calling that Brahm's going to go in someone's first round rotation. Oh no. I speak. He switches to the right.
He's here.
Here we go. But that's what I was saying. I don't believe that they could give Baby Truck and Chosgood the same bot lane. It's very important to change something up down there because that is what is actually happening. They picked the Bard again, and I like to see that. Chosgood is a very good Bard. His ults were so clutch. I think that's a great pick.
Okay, I'm such a great prophet. I'm going to call a Tristana, a swaparoo of the ADCs for these teams. Ooh, a Nami coming out?
I like that pick.
We have seen so many Namis this tournament by a bunch of different teams coming back into favor. Amumu, always a strong Wombo. Maybe they're going to round that out with some other AoE type mid laner and top laner on this side of Just Us Guys. What do you think?
The Nami pick would be very good with the Amumu. Once Amumu uses Curse of the Sad Mummy, he just stands there. Like, there's no follow. Like, it's just like, Curse of the Sad Mummy, they're stunned, and then I don't know what to do. They have the wave follow-up come through with Huntail, or, yeah, if he's able to follow up with that CC. Then you have Jinx just throwing rockets away on those AoE CC'd people. We're going to very much see what they're going to bring back. But Jinx, Nami's a strong lane, going to match up the sustain with the Nami into the Bard. And I think Nami's actually going to be able to bully Bard a little bit in the early game. Jay Frazier picking that Zed. We did see him play it once, I believe, in the qualifying tournament. Did quite well for himself. The Vayne also being picked up. Well, how do you like that matchup, Silky? The Vayne god himself.
It's not going to be fun for Vayne at all. Even with a Bard, the empowered autos from the Nami, not going to be fun for a Vayne to handle. Relatively short range AD carry. Really strong, my favorite champion in the game. But the Prophet speaks once again. We do have the Tristana hovered. I know you guys might not be able to see it right now, but Tristana going to be picked up by Baby Trog, and the Zed locked in as well for Jay Frazier. Doesn't know what he's going to go into, but we see the Wombo starting to shape up. I know you guys still can't see this, but Malphite picked up by Talon, and an actual Talon picked up by Athena. So, pretty crazy picks here, but Talon does have a pretty good time in lane against Zed, so this is exciting. The Assassin meta is back, baby.
Pick. I like this pick. Nobody ever picks this matchup. This is actually very good. I think we saw it at Worlds last year. Dade versus Expeke. Very good matchup back when Talon was big. He doesn't have that silence anymore, but that's slow. It's good. I like the assassination potential, but it was like you said, they basically swapped AD carries for this game that Tristana locked in. They do pick up the Maokai as their last pick. We're going to have to see if he can bring it in with that tank. Hardblow not going with that hard carry top laner.
So, yeah, what do you think about Harablo not picking up a Juggernaut? They're all left open. The Fiora was open again. Just not fitting the team comp, do you think? And trying to pick up the Maokai?
Good pick in this, I think. They have a lot of AoE damage and a lot of AoE CC. So that Maelstrom is going to absorb a lot of that AoE damage. He's going to redirect it back at them. It's going to give them a little easier time getting to the Jinx and sticking to her. Maokai's kind of hard to peel. With the Twisted Advance, he goes in. He will have Lee Sin to dive in there with him. He doesn't have to land a Q. He can just safeguard to his teammate once he's up. We're going to have to see how this goes. Bo's good on a very comfort champion. I think we're going to have to look to him to make those early plays. Get those lanes snowballing. But as far as lanes went last time, we saw Just Us Guys come up huge in the laning phase. We're going to have to see if Talon can go head-to-head. Malphite versus Maokai. Complete opposite what we saw top lane.
Noodle fight.
Wet noodle fight from... Actually, I was enjoying last time them just going at each other with damage. It was enjoyable to watch.
Wasn't this the matchup that we saw the Wet Noodle fight, Quas versus
No, it was
Impact?
Scion. It was
Scion, right. Scion and Maokai?
Scion Malphite.
Scion Malphite, right. So, looking for a rematch. Round 2. Not quite the LCS, but pretty much the same thing, right? So, it'll be interesting to see. Definitely hype. Chosgood back in the Bard. Going to be making the plays. They didn't take it away. They were scared of the other picks. And just giving him back that Bard.
The Bard pick is going to be very crucial in this. If he's able to land a Tempered Fate, and when Amumu goes in on the rest of the team, or catch the rest of the team when Malphite goes in, they're not going to be able to follow up that Wombo combo. It's going to negate a lot of it. They're going to be able to turn that around. You go in as Malphite and you're by yourself, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as he can stay back and not get caught by the Curse of Sad Mummy there, he can be able to throw the Tempered Fate on the rest of the team, and like you said, negate pretty much all the damage. And now, guys, we're just going to wait as we get into game number 2 between Just Us Guys and Fellowship of the Nerds. It'll just be a short break. Throw some ads at you. Stay tuned.
this out.
Hey guys, welcome back to Game 2 between Just Us Guys and Fellowship of the Nerds. On the blue side, Just Us Guys, we have Talon the Ninth in the top lane with the Malphite, Odin in the jungle with the Amumu, Athena playing that Talon in the mid lane, Dr. McFly and Huntail in the bot lane, bringing out the Jinx and the Nami.
On the red side, we do have Fellowship of the Nerds. Harblow changing it up, bringing out the Maokai in the top lane. Bo's good. Going on more of a comfort pick here, bringing out his Lee Sin. Jay Frazier going in the mid lane with that Zed. Baby Trog and Shaw's good. Going in the bot lane there with the Bard and Tristana and AD carry and support.
Yeah, should be a super exciting game. I'm actually really excited about this mid lane. Athena's Talon's pick is actually huge. It's counter to Zed, and it's actually what they need. They need something to get onto Baby Trog. Last game, they had the Lulu to buff up Baby Trog's Jinx, but now with the Talon, Bard actually does have a tough time keeping assassins off of the AD carry. Athena will have an especially good time having the stealth from the ultimate as well as the cutthroat to really hop on a Baby Trog and can really blow up if he gets ahead. So actually going to be looking for Odin and Bosgood to spend a lot of time in this mid lane. I know in the bot lane there's the hyper carries again, swapping ADC's Jinx for Dr. McFly this game, and Baby Trog going to pick up the Trist, but I actually think that mid lane is the matchup to watch.
I agree with you. Top lane's not going to be much action. Maokai versus a Malphite. There's not a lot of damage there. You got an Amumu. The Lee Sin is probably going to be the only one who can damage if they do a 2v2 top. The mid lane is really, I think, the lane to watch. I agree with you. That's where the assassins are going to come in. Those are the people who are going to be picking up the kills, putting down the damage early. They're going to be the ones to watch in team fights to see if they're able to get the successful assassinations off. So I would prioritize. But, however, I do favor Fellowship of the Nerds 2v2 and Jay Frazier and Bosgood, the Lee Sin Zed, doing a lot of damage versus Odin and Athena on that Amumu and Talon.
Yeah, interesting pickup by Jay Frazier to start Cloth 5 against the Talon. Talon picking up the Flask, not really surprised there. Maybe would have liked to see Frazier go with the longsword. Would have been able to punish even with Athena's sustain with the Flask. Going to be able to pump out a lot more damage with that longsword 3 pots. You're missing 2 pots when you don't go Cloth 5, but you just do more damage. And I don't think the armor is going to really help him too much, even though Talon is a counter. So kind of interesting first pick there.
I don't know if he's going to be able to trade the Talon, so he's going to try and just stay in lane as long as he can with the sustain from his 5 pots and using the cloth armor to negate some of the poke that's going to come through. Because I think you can actually spam Rake faster than you can spam the Razor Shuriken. As far as that, I do agree. I would have liked to see him go damage and maybe try and bully him out of here, but we do see the early trading coming out from Dr. McFly, putting a lot of damage on Baby Trog, and that's really what we expect with the Jinx and the Tristana matchup, though.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a poke battle back and forth. So you can land the bubble, so you can land the Cosmic Binding, but we see Bosgood in this mid lane. Living Shadow's going to come out, going to pop up behind him. The Flash going to come out from Athena. There's going to be no follow-up from Bosgood. That Q going to miss. No Resonating Strike there. Not going to be any damage. No harm, no foul. Baby Trog going to bubble, but Dr. McFly, Cosmic Binding right back. And we see pretty much how that lane's going to go. Whoever's going to land that crucial CC is going to come out on top. And Athena, strutting his stuff, going to trade with Jay Frazier, not afraid. Huntail
letting the bubble. They do get the zap down. A lot of damage being put down onto Baby Trog. The heal and exhaust are both used. They do use Rocket Jump, but they're going to be able to put down a lot of damage on Child's Good. Flash is used as well as exhaust. Rockets coming out. They do land a lot of damage. One more zap. It's not enough. They don't have it available, but that was a very good push out there by Dr. McFly and Huntail, and once again we see them being the dominant 2v2 bot lane like they were last game.
Yet Nami really suffocating the lane opponents, especially against a Bard, but we see Athena going on Jay Frazier, but Bosgood is there. The Ignite going to go out on Athena. No flash available for him. Flash by Bosgood. The Q going to land both instances onto that Talon in the mid lane. It's not looking good for Odin. And it looks like Bosgood's going to survive. So a 2-0 for Fellowship of the Nerds, flaunting that mastery after on that Comfort Champion. Unfortunate not knowing that Bosgood's there, Athena going in at the wrong time.
That's what I was telling you. I did favor that 2v2. They just have more damage coming out from that side. Unfortunately, Athena had to blow his flash earlier from that game from Bosgood. He comes down. That was very nice by him to collapse as soon as he saw Jay Frazier was in trouble. Very good block there by Odin, just standing in front of his teammate, trying not to let him land the resonating Q, but he does flash in the way to block it. Very well done on the 2v2, but the double kill going over to Bosgood, so I think we're going to have to make sure we see him putting in the work, going to the lanes, getting kills, starts snowballing his other advantages. As he did help Jay Frazier, I want to see him go bot lane and relieve some of the pressure, as just this guy's bot lane does have the advantage right now.
After picking up that early cloth 5 start, going to pick up more swords than he has hands. In the mid lane is Jay Frazier on the Zed. Definitely going to help out against this counter pick in Talon. Really, Talon really has his way with Zed once they hit level 6. That going stealth is really the big counter to Zed's death mark. Not being able to put out damage when you have that mark on him really hurts a Zed. That's pretty much his whole kit. So we're going to be looking actually for Jay Frazier to do a lot of roaming. We'd like to see Moby Boots come out in the next back or so to time it with his level 6. But Bozgood is here again. There's still no flash on Athena, and this is going to be the second death and the third kill for Bozgood. It's just like a kid in a candy store picking what he wants right now, and it happens to be in the mid lane.
It was like we were saying, that's the lane we need to focus on. That's the lane the junglers need to focus on. And they're getting their mid laner ahead. Sadly, he's not picking up the kill, but we do see the Deathmark though go down onto Odin. He does try and keep him underneath the turret. The Deathmark popped, and he picks up the solo kill onto Odin. And this is not a good start for Just Us guys. Already down 2k gold.
Yeah, definitely not characteristic of them, at least from their last game. They had such a great early game, really making smart choices. Unfortunately, that was not a smart choice to stick around in that lane. At 3/4 health approximately, level 4 as a Mumu, you have no way of getting out there. You have flash available, but Zed just putting out too much damage. That level 6 power spike, too much. Talon not there to help him out, so unfortunate, just not respecting the Zed power spike.
Luckily, they have the Jinx on their side. They do have the Tristana on the counter side. But we have Nami. You're able to throw the Aqua Prison on top of your AD carry as soon as you see Deathmark go down if they put it on him. But the gold lead is on that Zed. He's up almost 1,000 gold. Another 1,000 gold towards Bozgood over Odin. He's level 6 to Odin's level 4. Jay Frazier now has his ulti over Athena. Is he going to be able to come back even once he hits that 6? He doesn't have a Brutalizer. He's looking down at the Zed, who has Brutalizer, Longsword, Cloth Armor, picking up a pink ward and a green ward, making sure they have lots of vision. How's that matchup going to go now that he's that far ahead?
You know, it's not going to go that great for Athena, but we do see a little bit of a roam. Just like I said, coming from Jay Frazier, going to come towards his bot lane. The Deathmark not quite up, but they're going to be looking to dive maybe. They decide not to, but look back towards mid lane. There's not a whole lot of wards actually for Athena. Doesn't have any extra wards outside of the trinket. The trinket being used has relatively low cooldown and a low uptime, so to speak. Bozgood just going to try and get a gank, but being seen quite easily. Does have the safeguard to get out there safely, so it's actually going to be pretty tough for Athena. Does have the counter ability-wise, but item-wise, pretty far behind. Doesn't even matter. If he has his ultimate, Jay Frazier is going to be able to muscle him out of the lane.
And Bozgood is the one that they actually target with that Gragas ban. Oh, nice Cosmic Binding. They're putting down a lot of damage. Great trade back there by the bot lane of Fellowship of the Nerds. But we do see Jay Frazier going. The stealth does keep him alive, though. Deathmark pop. As we do see Bozgood, he is there. Is he going to be able to go into the Talon as the stealth isn't available? No, he just backs off. But a lot of pressure put down. But as I was saying, they put the ban out on Bozgood, but he's the one doing work after they take away his Gragas. Maybe not the right ban with the Gragas. Putting him on his main. They put him on the main, Silky.
I know they did, and it's pretty much a Lee Sin's dream to be up 3-0-0 at 8 minutes. Lee Sin's all about that early game. Early pressure is the name of the game as a Lee Sin. Definitely doing it here. 3-0, that's insane. Gonna pick up a dragon as well. It looks like an early snowball. Only like a 1.5, 1.8 gold lead so far, but that's going to become a much higher amount in the next couple minutes. That's what I'm predicting.
I wouldn't count out Fellowship of the Nerds. Lee Sin is very strong early. You are right. But he gets outscaled very easily. We have 2 hyper carries. Oh, we do see Harlow, though, going on to Athena. No ulti available from the Talon. It's on cooldown, but he's going to pick up the kill on Jay Frazier with Ignite. Really great as bot lane. We see the Tempered Fate going down on Dr. McFly. He's not able to pick up the kill. The wave does go out. Baby Chalk is forced to heal the exhaust onto Chazgo, but he just magical journeys out. We do see Super Mega Death Target is available. He uses it. One more hit away. Oh, he does pick up the kill. He uses heal also to get the speed. But we do see the TP coming in from Harblow. Huntail very low. We do see Talon coming in as well with the TP. He has Unstoppable Force available. Is he going to find it? He does get it, but Baby Chalk picks up the kill. He does have the reset to get the rocket jump back out. They won't be able to pick up another kill, and it's just a 1-for-1. Not entirely sure it was worth. EJ carry picking up for support there. I really thought that with Talon coming in with that Unstoppable Force, they'd be able to turn that, but not exactly keeping that gold lead. That's solid 2K.
Yeah, actually, Talon not having himself too many items right now, only having the boots and the cloth, and this Cinder, or Bambi Cinder as well. But we do see Odin coming towards his bot lane.
Curse the Sad Mummy is
Curse the Sad Mummy available, but he's only by himself, and Chosgood's there too, so probably not going to go in on this one. Still not that tanky. Doesn't have any damage for himself. Going to be meeped back to the hole that he crawled out of. As we see Jay Frazier coming towards his bot lane. Does have the ultimate available. Not quite the Ignite yet. Level 8 though. Athena's there to back him up, kind of foreseeing that all 5 members of Just Us Guys in this bot lane, and 4 for Fellowship of the Nerds, might see a little bit of a dance around this Dragon Pit. But looks like Odin's just going to pick up a buff for himself, and Bosgood might be looking for some action on Huntail.
Oh, great Aqua person. They do walk up to them, but Lee Sin does get the smite. Resonating Q. It goes out. He snipes him with it. Huntail maybe getting caught out, trying to place down some wards. But that was a good little turret pick up there by Just Us Guys, and that's what they need to do. Just take those little advantages, slowly crawl back into the game. I do believe they outscale, and if they find the right engages, they're going to win the team. But Jay Frazier flashes over the wall, goes in with a death mark. He's going to try and finish Odin. It's not going to be enough damage. He will just back off. Very aggressive. Didn't have Ignite available. Blowing him flash really for no reason and not able to pick up the kill.
I think kind of just counting on Chosgood to land the Cosmic Binding maybe. Having faith in your sport, not a bad thing, but fortunately not paying off there. Going to waste Flash on that one and the ultimate as well. So going to be a little bit of a stagnant next couple minutes for Fellowship of the Nerds. They do have a little bit of an advantage, so I could see them making a pick elsewhere. But in the mid lane, probably not going to look for too much, as Athena does have the ultimate available as well. Dr. McFly and Huntail actually sticking around pretty good. Even though Huntail got caught out maybe a couple times here, Dr. McFly still doing work on that Jinx.
He's got the BF sword. He's matching up at least with Tristana, who does have that extra kill. They each have a kill on each other, I suppose. Keeping up with the damage. I think Jinx will hit that power spike a little earlier than Tristana. Having more of an AoE damage will outrange Tristana for a while. Once she hits level 9, has the max range rockets. But might see a little bit of a gank bot lane here, as we do see Athena is there. But Bozgood goes onto Odin. He does lock him up with Curse of the Sad Mummy, but they pick up the kill before he's able to do anything. Dr. McFly in the front line, getting put down by Baby Truck. He did aggressively put down. Oh, great Super Mega Death Rocket, followed by the Talon ulti, coming back to pick up the kill. 1 for 1 there. Great job by Just Us Guys, but they do lose mid turret and Odin.
Yeah, Odin going down again. Jay Frazier not even going to have his ult, but Bosgood does. Landing that Q was huge. Going in on the Resonating Strike as well. And the Dragon Kick. The Dragon's Rage going to come out, able to execute him. Another kill onto this Lee Sin. 5-1-0. And going full AD. A man of my own heart here. I love this guy. Picking up the Tiamat now. Now is probably going to go into the Ravenous Hydra. Lifesteal is pretty good on Lee Sin. The second part of his W, the Iron Whale, he does pick up more lifesteal. So maybe would like to see that over the Titanic Hydra. Would like to see him go full ham. I want to see a Bloodthirster. I want to see all these items on Lee Sin. He can 2-shot. Yeah, it's scary.
Beast mode, man.
Beast
going
mode.
Full AD. Maybe he's been watching our games, the Lee Sin Yasuo bot lane.
Absolutely.
Has he been paying attention to us, our builds?
The dream is real,
Of course.
and we're seeing it right in front of us now. Wow.
But I gotta say, Just Us Guys, yeah, they're kind of getting caught out, but they are slowly pulling themselves back into this game. They do have the only turrets so far. I haven't really seen much of Talon the Ninth or Harbour. They're just kind of doing their own thing. It's only about a 1k gold lead now. They've cut it in half. They do have the turret advantage, however, but the wet noodle fight, top lane persists. Sometimes I kind of forget there's even a third lane when this kind of stuff happens.
I thought this was 4v4.
We do see a flash coming from Bozgood. He knocks out Dr. McFly. There's a lot of damage coming out. And Huntail realizes, he's like, man, you're dead. I'm sorry, I gotta leave you. Bozgood soloing out the AD carry. Baby Truck just there for moral support. Give him a pat on the back. Thanks, man.
It's that full AD, I'm telling you. Jay Frazier heading back to the mid lane. But really, it's up to Just Us Guys to ride out this wave. Odin in the mid lane, Athena going in, but not going to get anything. Doesn't have the bandage toss, the range rather on the bandage toss to be able to follow up on that one. But it's really up to Just Us Guys to ride out this early game wave. It's really what these guys are about. Zed, not bad in the late game, but like you said, Lee Sin really dropped off next to some of these other compositions. You got an Amumu and a Malphite. The Wombo combo is real. And if you catch out Baby Trog and Jay Frazier, and probably Bosgood in that as well, it's going to be pretty big for Just Us Guys.
It's just very important that they need to enable Dr. McFly to free farm, to pull himself ahead. he needs those items to be able to carry the team. They have the wombo. They have that team fight potential, but they need to get there after they've fallen behind. The second dragon is picked up. They're going to have to wait until they can team fight. I think this is good. Fellowship of the Nerds really can't contest any of these dragons at this point because Fellowship of the Nerds are so far ahead. But I like what they're doing. They're trying to play safe, pull themselves back in this game because it is not over by a landslide. 2k gold is really not a lot. People, like in the early game, yes, but if you can keep that gold lead consistent as the game moves towards, I do think that Just Us Guys has the favorable team comp moving forward in this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to mean a couple early objectives are going to go in the way. It is actually surprising to see them up a tower so early because the early game just tilts so much towards Fellowship of the Nerds. You're really going to start to see these outer towers fall now towards Fellowship's favor. But it's all about that late game. Can't stress enough how important it is for these guys not to let it slip away too much. That's the thing. You got to keep it within reach so you can pull it back in with these sick wombos, enable Athena, enable Dr. McFly to do the big damage.
They're keeping up in CS. They might lose some towers early here, but they still have gold on the map. They have those towers to pick up as well. They just need to find the right fights. They have Nami. They can have the pick potential with that Aqua Prison. Dr. McFly playing a dangerous game here. Oh, Jay Frazier just popping the flare out. He's like, hey, check out my mastery. I'm Master 5. I'm a Zed main. But I really want to see them just start grouping and roaming and finding these picks. You hit someone with a Malphite ulti followed by an Aqua Prison, I think that should be enough CC to kill them. But you have a lot more CC to follow up if the team fight does break out. And we might see our first team fight here as Righteous Glory is available for Harlow. He doesn't use the wave, goes out, knocking up the rest of the team. Tempered Fate. The Mumu goes in with a talent, a ton of damage coming out. And this is the team fight we were talking about. Baby Shark barely escaping. Harlow in the backline. He does have exhaust available on him. He does flash over the wall. The rest of the team opts not to chase. Just stands there. I hope he didn't disconnect because that would be rather unfortunate. But they're going to take the kill. Give it to Dr. McFly. He needs to start pulling ahead. And but Odin gets the kill. That's a clean ace. And this is what we were talking about, Crafty. They have, Carter, I'm so sorry, Silky. They have the damage. They can pull themselves into this. And the Wombo, a clean ace. That Amumu ult was unreal. And I think we did have a disconnect on Harbo, sadly. I think it happened after the team fight, though. But that was an unreal team fight. I was telling you, I thought the Tempered Fates would hold them from getting the engage. They had Talon and Amumu pretty much burst down that entire team. And Amumu actually building full AP. He's got the Rune Glaive, man.
Whoa, well, this is the dream then. If you don't Tempered Fate the Amumu, even if it's just him, he's going to be one-shotting everyone with his ultimate. He caught pretty much everyone on the team with that Curse of the Sad Mummy, taking down single-handedly pretty much the whole team with the help of Athena on that Talon, easily doing work. And it's like they've been listening to us, man. You know what? But it was the delay from Odin, actually, at the start of that fight. Harablo flashing, twist in advance onto Dr. McFly, almost catching the Jinx, but she did have the Nami as well as the flash to get out of that one pretty good. So that was huge. The delay from Odin coming from the side, unwarded, unchecked. He's just going to fly in there with the bandage toss, and huge ultimate. That was insane.
This is what we were talking about, though. Lee Sin going full damage. He gets caught out, and they blew him and Jay Frazier up. Deathmark wasn't even used during that fight because he got blown up. That was just a Talon and the Amumu. Could you imagine if the Malphite or the Super Mega Death Rocket was used at all? And look, after that team fight, they're not even up 1,000 gold anymore. There's a 500 gold difference now. They still have turrets available, and that is the kind of team fighting we need to see by Just Us Guys. And that's why you can never give up in these games. They played this very well. They gave up the early objectives, and they waited. They found the team fight they needed and pulled themselves back into the game.
You know, I would actually be really surprised if I see Fellowship of the Nerds group up like that again. The Zeds love to split push. It's actually the dream. As long as you're strong enough, you can 1v1 pretty much anyone on the enemy team. Would like to see maybe a 1-3-1 though. If the TP is available from Harablo, send them top lane against Malphite. They can have a wet noodle fight all they want, whatever. Once the fight breaks out, they can TP. But I would love to see Jay Frazier split push. And it's like he's listening to me here. They got the stream up and they're talking about it. Jay Frazier's bot lane, Shaw's good as well, in case he needs any help. So that's what I would like to see from Fellowship of the Nerds to counter this kind of wombo. But that also means that they could just 5-man push mid, kill the 3 members with their wombo. But we see a fight in the top lane. Harablo and Bosgood. The kick going to come out from onto Talon, the 9th. He's in some trouble. Probably going to go down here. And they're not going to be able to answer anywhere else on the map. But he's got some support, but it might be too late. Athena is there. The Banish Toss is going to catch on to Harablo. And it looks like the rest of the team is going to follow suit. The rake going to come out. Not going to be enough. Initially, Harablo going to go down eventually to Athena. The Mega Death Rocket missing just narrowly. Probably might not have killed Bosgood. Don't know if it was enough execute damage, but that was actually really good. And Dr. McFly might be in some trouble here in this mid lane, though. Chosgood's there. The rocket jump as well, going to catch that one, and then rocket jump all the way out. Some poor positioning from Dr. McFly there, and Jay Frazier in the bot lane.
They committed way too much for those kills. All 4 top. Now they're going to lose their tier 2 bot turret, and honestly, they could have pushed the tier 2 mid, but that was a great opportunity for Talent if he was able to get away. It was a pretty good flash though. He did pull, even though Harbo did follow him with the twisted advance, he pulled him closer to his teammates. A little bit of a gold lead back inside of the Fellowship of the Nerds, but they do pick up a turret for themselves. They have all those outers down, but like we were saying, I think it's the team fights that's going to be very crucial, and I think this next drag is where we're going to see if Fellowship of the Nerds can team fight or if they're going to opt to give up that dragon, because with this Amumu, he has Runeglaive to do the damage. He has the Sunfire Cape to do more AoE on top of his Anguish and his Tantrum. That's a lot of AoE damage coming out from the Amumu just by himself. You follow up with the rest of the team, it's going to be very scary. Dr. McFly getting a little antsy there, thinking he can 1v1 the Tristana. Maybe overestimating himself. Tristana has that IE Zeal now. No IE finish. Picking up the longsword, delaying his build. Oh, but Huntail getting caught out by Bosgood. Oh, he kicks him away, leaving him alive. Oh, I thought that was Talon. I thought he was Baby Trug on the hunt, but that's his teammate. He's safe. He's okay. He's got a bodyguard. But I think if Harbo doesn't go so hard by himself next time, they might have a better chance at the team fight. I feel like he was too far ahead last time, got caught out, and then the rest of his team wasn't able to follow up after he popped Righteous Glory. So this, with Huntail getting caught out, this is going to give Fellowship of the Nerds a lot of time to clear out wards before Dragon comes out.
Absolutely. You can do the 1-3-1 like they just did, and they got objectives for it. Being stronger in these little skirmishes, not in the big 5v5 fights, not giving Justice guys the opportunity to get these wombos off, but these objectives like Dragon is going to bring everyone together. So this is another time for Justice guys to look for a big wombo from the unstoppable force in Talon the 9th on the Mal fight and the Curse of Sad Mummy. Just need to find the right engage. I would like it if they made Fellowship make that first mistake like they did last time.
Fellowship, very good on their wave management. You do see that they can delay this dragon a bit. They have top wave pushing very hard for themselves. Bot lane pushing very hard for themselves. Mid lane pushing in on them, but that's a pretty close wave. They could honestly send someone to clear that out quick. We do give the blue to Jay Frazier. He's going to have the cooldown, going to be able to spam stuff. But oh, Oda missing the Spanish toss, but Bosgood goes in. We do see Harbo. He might get caught out here. Tempered Fate missing, only catching Talon. That's not good. He lands on the chompers. The wave does come through. A lot of damage going through. He tries to get onto Dr. McFly, but he gets away. Athena looking. Odin way outside of the team fight. Jay Frazier goes in. The Malphite ulti put down. They do pick up Athena though. A kill down onto the Dr. McFly. Talon picks off. This is 3 kills for Fellowship of the Nerds. Baby Truck probably going to pick up the kill here on Huntail. Gets a reset, picking himself a double kill. He will keep chasing Odin. The resonating strike goes through. They pick up a clean ace. Silky, I think that was maybe a little bad Odin on the outside, and he really pushed himself out of the teammate. They weren't able to find the engage.
Oh man, that was so scattered. Unfortunately for Justice guys, Bosgood finding Odin on the side. Odin trying to get that bandage toss over the wall. Starting up Baron now. The teleport going to come out from Parablo just to make sure they're going to get this one safely. Someone to tank it. That was just, oh, it could have been so good for Odin if he would have just grouped. The Jinx Rocket not going to catch anyone. Chosgood not going to go down. The Baron's still about half health. They're not going to get there in time, and Jay Frazier's pushing the bot lane. Unfortunately, that was the exact corridor, too. Such a tight space. Unfortunately, Odin couldn't catch anyone over the side wall. Went all the way around, decided to come all the way back, and by that time, the fight was already over.
That was such a good opportunity. They just forced it a little bit, I think. Odin really trying to get the flank and get the really good bandage toss into the ult, but he left his team kind of high and dry. Bosgood did go on him. He could have looked to try and flank, run around from the back, get the bandage toss from the back. Don't try and sit on the side. Dr. McFly kind of left by himself there to deal with Jay Frazier, who has Last Whisper. He's got the Blade of the Rune King. They do pick up Dragon, however. That's really good for them. They're going to get the bonus stats, the bonus AD, AP. Going to be a nice pickup. They do lose Baron though, which is not good when you have a great split pusher like Zed. But this is where we're going to have to see them. They have to force fights if Zed goes to split push, because it's the only way they're going to really negate this Baron buff from being used to slingshot that gold lead for Fellowship of the Nerds.
There shouldn't be this many members from Just Us Guys hovering around this bot lane. They also, I don't think, shouldn't send their squishiest members. That's like a dream for Zed. They're going to send Odin, maybe try to catch him out, but you got to try and catch him out before the rest of the team can pick up an objective, which they pick up for free, the mid lane, as 3 members hovering around and not going to find anything.
This
but
is
Odin's going to, this is exactly it. Jay Frazier not quite on the turrets. The banner shot's going to land as well. No Curse of Sad Mummy just yet. The bubble going to land on a Baby Trog. Everyone's going to go on him. Nothing used so far. Tempered Fate going to land on 4 members, one of their own. The Mega Death Rocket going to do some damage. Odin not going to find anything. Going to get stunned. Jay Frazier was thinking about coming mid, but left that bot turret. We'll love to see him stay. Maybe thought that fight was going to be a little more extended, but he should have just stayed the whole time. He's going to go back now. It's a 4v3, but these guys can keep pressing, and now there's 3 towards this bot lane.
Desmond is going to hunt. He is going to pick up that kill before it even popped. The rest of the team going to chase down. Jace does have a red buff. He does use the rockets, going to be able to pick up that kill. Unfortunately, Nami did still have ulti. I was going to say they might be able to re-engage with that, but not available. Talon way too to do anything, really. They're going to pop the Talisman of Ascension, get out, putting a lot of damage on the turret. Oh, but Odin adds, and he does have the ulti available. Talon immediately in there. They blow up Baby Trog. They're going to be able to retaliate with a lot of damage here, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to chase as they are very low. But they do protect both of their turrets. Very good defend there by Just Us Guys. Getting the picks they wanted, but they definitely forced the right fight going on them 5v4.
This entire game hinges on how well they can get this wombo off. If Odin can land the Banish Toss like he just did, not quite getting the Curse of Sad Mummy, trying to wait for more members around him to get the stun, so not using it till the end of that fight, able to pick up another kill for himself on Baby Trog. So that was a great play by them. A little bit of mispositioning, really, by both teams. At the start of the fight, you see 3 members from Just Us Guys hovering around the bot lane towards Zed. He's not even at the tower yet. And then 4 members pick up a tower mid on Fellowship, and now you go back, and that's where it was a good play from Just Us Guys. They finally get the picks they're looking for. They get a kill, and then Jay Frazier's still pushing bot, and that's where his misplay came from. Sticking around a little too long, just trading himself for Huntail. At this point, she's not worth that much. 0-4 and 8. She's happy to be the sheep if it's going to mean his death. But then we also see the rest of Just Fellowship sticking around a little too close, not respecting the Mumu, getting caught at the end. So it was a little bit of a misplay by both teams. A little bit sloppy, but this entire game hinges around this Mumu pick and the Talon on.
But I'm glad he does show patience with his ulti. He catches the bandage toss onto the Tristana. She immediately rocket jumps, and she would have been out of range even if he did stun her, because it went off before the stun. No one was going to get to him, and they didn't get the targets they wanted. He held on to it. Then Talon initiated with his ulti, and that's when they got the pick they wanted, got the kills. I gotta say, Fellowship of the Nerds grouping here, I don't like this. They need to put the Zed in a different lane and split push, but then that also plays into Just Us Guys' favor, giving them that 4v5 fight, so it's gonna be very scary. I think if Athena can hold off Jay Frazier, that Just Us Guys can still win this 4v4.
I'm not sure if he can. Really not too far ahead. They're kind of even, actually, at this point. The CS leaning towards Zed a little bit, 200 to 160 in there, but the item's really not that much different for both these guys. There's a Blade of the Rune King onto Zed, but that's more of a sustained damage. You're not going to be able to use the active and catch up to a Talon if he's invisible. So I actually do like Athena going towards his Zed. A little bit of damage, a little bit of a fight in the top lane, but nothing coming of that. So it's going to be interesting to see where they decide to put their pieces.
I really want them to maybe try and 5v5. They're putting a lot of pressure on this turret, but they need to realize, look at that wave bot lane for Just Us Guys, pushing very hard for them. That's what they want to do. Just keep these guys distracted. It's going to push. They're going to pull Zed out of here. As Hardblow does go back, he does have TP available, but this is the time that Just Us Guys need to look for a fight. If they can get an early pick before that TP comes through, and they notice that Talon looking for the engage, they must have vision on both good, as Athena's kind of in here by himself. The Resonating Strike, though, is gone. He does get the slow. They're looking very hard. Talisman of Ascension is popped. Hardblow hasn't quite TP'd yet. Athena goes in. Tempered Fate does land. Oh, that Talon ulti is used. That's very unfortunate. That was a lot of burst down for the side of Just Us Guys. Oh, but they do catch Bo's good with that. Curse of the Sad Mummy used. Mega Death Rocket does catch, and he does catch the zap. TP immediately canceled. This is really good for Just Us Guys.
They're going to be able to shove mid. Now there's no TP. I'm actually surprised maybe that he didn't go in. He might have traded his life, but this is going to mean a couple towers now. He's got to back Harablo and come all the way from Fountain. This is going to mean a couple turrets, I think. But this Jinx, these towers are not going to last long. They're still got an entire front line. Look at these health bars. They're so safe. And that was actually a blind bandage toss into the bush by Odin to make that pick.
I was kind of skeptical at first when he ulted one person, but that was a great zap followed by Super Mega Death Rocket to pick up the kill onto Bo's good, and he's now finally starting to get tanky. He's picked up the extra sight stone to help get the wards down. He's doing right. The Zeke Harbinger is picked up by Child's good. He's gonna throw that on Baby Trog. Them crits, man. That 90% crit on top of the rapid fire. Tristan's gonna be scary. I want to see it be built for the Jinx. The AoE crits is huge with those rockets, but this is very good for Justice, guys, and I got to give them applause. They've done very well from playing from behind and picking the opportunities they have to put themselves in the game, and I think this is also going to be a great fight if they can land their ultis properly. Dr. McFly, though, very does have the ulti available, and they are starting Dragon without Curse of the Sad Mummy. This I'm a little skeptical about, as Tempered Fate is used. Harablo pops a Vengeful Maelstrom. The wave comes out. They do get the ulti onto Baby Trog, but he immediately jumps out. They're putting in a lot of damage. Dr. McFly gets taken down by Jay Frazier. Baby Trog just jumping around, keeping himself alive very well. Odin trying to take down Jay Frazier. He does get the dragon, but at what cost? His team is down. He's trying to kill Jay Frazier, but Harblow comes in, helps his teammate, peels for him. Talon 9 gets taken down as well. That's a 4-for-0. They did get dragon, but they're going to lose turrets and inhibitors here. I feel like their Wombo was used too much on single targets. They didn't find the fight they were looking for. They should have waited until they had that Curse of the Sad Mummy. Started Dragon too early.
Yeah, definitely. Even though they got the Dragon, Odin focusing a little bit too much on Jay Frazier's Zed on the backside of the pit. He kind of chased around there for a little bit and was fighting two members at the end of that fight. Would have liked to see him even offer a bandage toss, even if his Curse of the Sad Mummy wasn't available. Huntail going to pay for this. Athena, in the middle of this one, does have the ultimate available if he wants to get out of there. This is going to mean an inhibitor for Fellowship of the Nerds, and things are not looking too great. Still not over yet.
Gets caught up with the
Peter decides to go back in.
Oh, they put down a lot of damage. They're returning a lot of damage. Jinx does get a kill. He does get the resets. He does use Super Mega Death Rocket, but the jump is there to get away from it. Zed goes in, but he's completely annihilated. Gets CC'd, but they do pop him with the Death Mark, putting down enough damage for it to go down. Odin does do a lot of damage. They have to be very careful. Malphite might be able to take down Baby Trog, but he flashes out of the damage. This is a very tanky Odin. Is he going to pick up a possible triple kill? The bandage starts going wide, though. He's not going to catch Baby Trog. They may be able to turn this around. The Resonating Strike goes out. The jump goes through, but they are not able to catch Odin. He might look for a re-engage. This is a home guard Nami coming through. Can he land the bubble? Stops moving entirely, but the wave goes up. Is it enough to catch Baby Trog? They just sidestep it and it goes out. A lot of damage, but that is a huge minion wave coming in the mid wave. This is very scary, Silky.
Wow, is your voice okay after that one? That was long. That was really long. The minions actually picking up the inhibitor in the mid lane. That's going to be huge. That is actually pretty terrible for just us guys. Just the way that happened. It was really questionable fighting around that dragon pit, and it kind of snowballed into a lot of objectives for Fellowship. Actually could have went a little bit worse. They didn't. They stopped the inhibitor from being taken in the bot lane. The tower was taken. That's too bad. Zed's going to be back in the bot lane. I guarantee it. The rest of the team probably going to look towards this top lane. Just not finding that big Wombo. Not finding that Curse of Sad Mummy. Almost able to pick up 3 kills near the end of that one was Odin, but not quite. Huntail did go towards... She still hasn't picked it up, but going towards a Righteous Glory. So I can see why she's not going towards it Zeke's. It would have been awesome on a Dr. McFly, but they realized that they need to get onto the members with the Amumu and with the Malphite. So more speed ups, so I can see where she's coming from, but gonna give up a little bit of damage on the side of Jinx.
I gotta say, great wave management. They got that mid wave pushing into the base. They can't pressure Baron, because if they try, Fellowship of the Nerds is going to dance around Baron all day. They'll just let those super creeps do the work for them. If they let the wave walk in, they're going to lose Nexus turret. If they try and fight, they have the possibility of giving up a free Baron if they go for the minions. And Tempered Fate does catch 2 of them. Odin and Talon really the only ones available. It does wear off, though. They are able to get the Wombo if they can land the CC. It's very important. Odin has a lot of damage built onto him. They really need to catch Jay Frazier, Baby Trog, and blow him up. There can be no damage coming up from those guys. We're going to see, as those minions slowly pushing into the base, they need to engage now or they need to back off.
Yeah, they're just waiting a little bit too long. Fellowship of the Nerds happy to do this dance. Odin gonna find a couple members. The Rocket Jump gonna go down. Gonna find himself 1v3 though. The rest of the team gonna come in. Dr. McFly's there. The damage not enough to take down Odin. Chopper's gonna land on Harablo. Doesn't have the rest of his team there. Ultimate's still available for these guys. A huge Chopper's on a Baby Trog. Not seeing that in the bush. Harablo just gonna happy to frontline. Talon doing the same. and both teams just dancing around. But this is in the Fellowship's favor. Slowly, these super minions are going to take down the base, so they really need to do it now or never. And Fellowship's happy to dance around until they force the retreat from just those guys. But that would have been such a great opportunity.
Oh, it's so unfortunate that the Bush had no vision. That was a 4-man unstoppable force. Baby Trog could not move. He was caught, and now they choose to fight. Re-engage. Unstoppable force is available. He's looking for the carries. Athena going in really deep by himself. They have vision, though, due to the E. They go in. Jay Frazier goes on to Huntail. He's going to blow him up as Deathmark goes in. Talon doing as much damage to Baby Trog as he can, but they get the CC down. Super Mega Death Rocket being blocked by Harablo. I think he healed him there. Didn't really do as much damage as anticipated. Odin does have Curse of the Sad Mummy, but a Cosmic Binding lands on 2 of them, stunning them completely. He gets the ulti off, but at what cost? That's an ace. And now they have super minions running in. Harblow's going to TP, and Carter, I think this is a game.
If Crafty was here, he would say this game was pretty hype. Pretty exciting game, actually. Unfortunately, probably going to end here. The death time is just too long, and with the waves being where they were, the super minion wave, enough tanky members to tank the towers if they need to. Obviously, a lot of damage from this Baby Trog on Tristana. This game, the storyline of this game, I think, was missed opportunities. If we had to write a newspaper article, that would be the title. Missed opportunities by Justice guys. They were so in this game, and the last one too. These guys, I have a lot of faith in them going forward, but it was just too close, and they missed a lot of opportunities. Odin kind of walking around. Maybe he's not comfortable in this Mumu. I haven't really seen it from him. He did have a couple good ults, but a couple missed opportunities as well. I feel for him, though. As a jungler, having these big CC abilities, like a Sejuani, with their ultimate as well, you're always waiting for that perfect ult. And if you do that too much, you're walking back and forth, and you're not throwing it out, then you end up not using it at all, and it costs him. So I can see where he's at. Feel bad, but epic game.
I feel like they gave way too much respect to Fellowship of the Nerds. Not that they should disrespect their opponents, but I feel like they should have still used those CC engage. If they could catch Chaz good, that's still CC down on your team. You catch Bo's good. Like, you don't need to catch Jay Frazier and Baby Trog necessarily, but they kept trying to go for that. They have so much CC, they can afford to expend some on the support. Get the kills down. Then you have the man advantage. But I got it. Kudos to them. They played very well coming from behind all game. Just like you said, missed opportunities.
Yeah, for the kind of comp that Fellowship had, it was really kind of a tough game for them to close this one. They're pretty lucky that there was some missed opportunities, but the biggest thing was they capitalized on them. You know, they saw that Mumu was walking around in the back line with Zed, and the rest of the team was going in onto Dr. McFly, really not having a chance. Even Huntail being on that Nami, having a lot of disengaged, the bubble, the Aqua Prison, and the heals as well. And it was actually the Locket, the Aegis of the Legion coming out. That confuses me. Maybe that was just like a troll. I think that was a troll buy maybe at the end. I'm really hoping.
I think he was more thinking. No, I think he was more thinking of the shield to keep him alive from the Zed ulti than anything.
Maybe.
Aegis not maybe being the greatest buy when you have basically a full AD team coming at you, but I understand trying to get as many shields down as that Zed ulti because Jay Frazier was putting so much damage down onto everyone. He was soloing out anyone he ulted. But it was a great series. Great best of 2. Honestly, it could have gone either way. Both games were very close. Great team fights. It just always that one team fight setting the game apart. And unfortunately, Justice guys on the wrong side both times.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for them. But going to be looking for them to come back just as strong next week. They really shouldn't hang their heads after this one. They stuck around so long. Not that they really were sticking around to, like, they're not the underdogs in this game. I don't see them as the underdogs. They really played well, and just the way the comps went and the way the games went, those big events in the game, those big team fights can really tilt the Summoner's Rift one way, and unfortunately they couldn't climb back up. So, great game, but great series overall. Good night, too. Good, exciting couple first nights. What are your thoughts on the start of this SKL regular season?
I want to finish the week and see really who the top of the pack is. I mean, first week, it's really hard to judge. You're going in, all you can base off is how those guys did in qualifiers. It's unfortunate you only get to play each team twice in 1 week. Hopefully, maybe, we can get them to play more often later on in another split. But I want to see who the top of the pack is because I feel like Justice guys could have won both of these games. It was just really unfortunate. The score doesn't really reflect how that game went, but so far, these games really exciting, and that's what I'm here for. This competitive aspect, these really good games. So I'm very entertained, and I mean tomorrow we have Indecision versus Land Before Time. I think that'll also be a really great matchup.
Definitely a couple big matches going to round out this week. We got Indecision versus Land Before Time tomorrow, Wednesday, 7 p.m. And on Thursday, we have Notice Me Senpai versus Vicious and Delicious, another huge game. Definitely a little more favored teams. Definitely some strong ones showing in qualifiers, so definitely tune into those ones. Definitely got a lot more action the rest of this week, guys. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Saskatchewan League. Make sure you are following us on Twitter as well, twitter.com/SK_League. And as always, to check out all the latest results, the upcoming schedule, what have you, check out our website, www.skleague.ca. And I also understand, Designated, that we're going to be at a special event in the next coming weeks.
Yeah, I believe we're going to be at something called Saskatoon Comic and Entertainment Expo. I'm not sure if you guys...
What's that?
Well, you know, it's just this expo in Saskatoon where they bring, like, people from TV shows, entertainment, movies, comics. Just check us out. And we have a booth there, so you guys should definitely come check us out. It's September 19th and 20th. We're going to have all the casters there. You can meet the whole crew behind SK League. Come out, check out. We have prizes. You know, you gotta earn them though. Of course, we don't just give stuff out for free. But
if you're gonna come check us out, I just want to throw in there's gonna be a couple of famous people there. I know it's just Saskatoon, but we got some pretty big names. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, Pippin, my boy, Billy Boyd, the actor, is gonna be there. I know he's playing at Louis' Pub after with the after party of the Saskatoon Expo. So that's really hype. If you want to meet him, it's awesome. William Shatner also going to be there. Pretty big names for just a little province in the middle of the prairie. So
yes.
Pretty hype. So if you're going to come for us, you might see those guys there too. Keep that in mind. Guys, that has been Silky Mittens and Designator. Also want to throw out a big shout out to our sponsors, Kingston HyperX, giving us those swaggity gifts to give away. Definitely a big sponsor. We also want to thank Nature's Gaming, going to hold the live finals come November. Sorry, make sure you check them out. Pretty big LAN center in Regina. I know a couple people just went in the last couple weeks. They said it's really great, really good atmosphere as well. We want to thank Wide Mouth Media. See all these fancy advertisements, these fancy overlays, everything done by them. If you want it done right, go to them for all your media needs. All right, I think I've been talking for too much here. My throat's getting sore. I need some water. So I've been Silky Mittens. He's been Designator. Good night.